Hello, lovelies, and I hope you all are doing wonderful and that you're enjoying the fall weather. Today, this episode is pre-recorded because I am currently in Vienna, Austria. And since I'm in Austria, I thought I would share two cases from Austria. Now, I am Terry True Crime, and welcome to Midday Missing, where we highlight current missing person cases that need more attention. We stream shows every Monday and Wednesday, hence why I pre-recorded these, because these cases are so important that they still need to be told, even though I'm traveling. Now, I am going to apologize up front for my pronunciations. If you're new here, this happens often, and I'm really bad at it, okay? If you're not new here, then enjoy the laughs. I am sure I will provide. So our first case is Aeryn Gillern, okay? On the evening of Monday, October 29th, 2007, Aeryn Michael John Gillern disappeared in Vienna, Austria. At the time, he was working for the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, known as UNIDO, not MINIDO, but UNIDO. Now, Aeryn was born on April 28, 1973, in Elmira, New York, to his mother, Catherine Gillern. Now, he graduated from Groton High School in 1991, then went on to earn a Bachelor's of Arts in Theology from Franciscan University of Steubenville in 1997. Told you these are going to be some interesting words I pronounce. They're about to get more fun. From there, he studied at the seminary in Graz, Austria, and later returned to Steubenville to complete a Master's of Arts in Theology and Christian Ministry in 1999. By 2003, Aeryn was in Vienna working as a research assistant for UNIDO. Now, outside of his professional work, Aeryn was also well known in the community. In 2006, he was named Mr. Gay Austria. I mean, I'm not sharing pictures and slides today because finding pictures of these gentlemen that we're going to talk about today was impossible. So I tried to find it. Maybe while I'm in Austria, I'll have better luck. If so, I will share it with you guys later. Now, just weeks before his disappearance in September 2007, Aeryn visited his mother in Cortland, New York for 10 days. She was preparing to sell her home and move to Vienna to be closer to him. On October 27th, Catherine spoke to her son on the phone for the last time. Catherine, that breaks my heart. On October 31st, 2007, Catherine received the phone call every parent dreads. Aeryn was missing. Police accounts surrounding his disappearance have been inconsistent. One version stated he was last seen running naked from the Kasenbrundel sauna in Weibergus after an altercation where another man was allegedly taken to the hospital. Another version claimed that his last confirmed location was a sauna at Stephansplatz after work. I know how to say Stephansplatz because I love the Miraplatz in Germany. Now, authorities suggested he may have been suicidal and jumped into the Danube River, but his friends, acquaintances, and family strongly dispute this idea. You know, Aeryn's mother and supporters argue that the investigation was deeply flawed and hampered by bias against his sexuality. I'm going to go with the mom. I trust the mom. Austrian police statements shifted multiple times. They denied the presence of witnesses, even though a couple had phoned them with information the day after Aeryn was declared missing. Initially, Austrian authorities even refused to investigate, stating that it was not their duty to handle the disappearance of a non-citizens. Austrian authorities, I'm here to tell you, if I go missing while I'm in your country, please look for me. Yes, please. Now, when pressure mounted from the United Nations and the Austrian Foreign Ministry, police finally opened an investigation, but still refused to interview Aeryn's mother or his friends. Okay, Austrian police, I need to know why. And if any of you, or if I run into any police officers while I'm there, I'm going to be asking you guys, okay? Because I need to know. Since 2008, every year on October 29th, Aeryn's mother has held a vigil outside the Kaiserbrundel sauna to mark the anniversary of her son's disappearance. Guys, I really wished I was going to be there on October 29th because I would go. Now, in 2011, the documentary Gone, The Disappearance of Aeryn Gillern premiered at the Tribeca Film Festival, shining light on his story and his mother's relentless search for answers. Nearly 2 decades later, the case of Aeryn Gillern remains unsolved. For his mother, Catherine, the fight for truth and justice continues. Catherine, my heart goes out to you, and I'll keep my eye open when I'm, walking around. So next up, we have on July 19th, 1994, Austrian biologist Ernst Priesner vanished in the mountains near Garmisch-Partenkirchen, Germany. He had gone out to check insect traps in the area of the Pflegersee and never returned. Now, despite extensive search operations by mountain rescue teams, no trace of him was ever found. Now, Ernst was born on May 12, 1934. He grew up in Klagenfurt, Austria, where he attended high school before studying biology at the University of Vienna. He earned his PhD in 1959, working in the research group of Wilhelm Kuhnelt at the Zoological Institute. Wow, these words. His career took him to the University of Göttingen, then to Munich, where in 1963 he joined the research group of Dietrich Schneider. 2 years later, he followed Schneider to the Max Planck Institute for Behavioral Psychology in Seewissen. By 1974, Priesner was based at the University of Erlangen, devoting himself to the study of insect pheromones. You heard me right, insect pheromones, particularly in clearwing moths, also known as the Cistidae. Now, Priesner was a pioneer in the field of sex pheromones research. His work revolutionized how scientists studied insect communication behavior, especially among hymenopters and butterflies. Don't come at me, people. In 1983, he was awarded the Gay-Lussac-Humboldt Prize for his groundbreaking contributions. He developed a set of 21 synthetic pheromones capable of attracting nearly all types of clearwing moths, leading to the discovery of several new species. His methods and findings remain influential in entomology today. I bet Grissom would have been a fan. What do you think? Now, on July 19th, 1994, Ernst set out to check insect traps in the Bavarian Alps. It was a routine task, something he had done many times before. This time, he did not return. When he failed to come back, search efforts were immediately launched. Mountain rescue teams scoured the Pflegersee area, but despite multiple operations, no sign of Ernst were ever found. It's been more than 30 years, and the disappearance of Ernst Priesner remains a mystery. He was a brilliant scientist and a pioneer in his field. He left behind not only important contributions to entomology, but also unanswered questions about what happened in those mountains that day. News outlets are so different in other countries, and they do not publish as much on these cases. So I was only able to provide some limited information. But I do think that it is important, no matter where the person is missing from, that their stories deserve to be heard. Because, like, guys, I'm going to be traveling there. What if I meet one of these gentlemen? If I know about their story, then maybe I can help. Okay. Now, for my tips today, since I'm in Austria for the next several days when you're hearing this, I thought I would share some tips I found online that I will be using while on my visit. I am one of those people that before I visit another country, especially one I've never been to, I do my research. Okay. So, public transportation is big over there. Okay. Vienna's U-Bahn trams and buses are said to be clean and efficient, but they are also where pickpockets hang out. Yep. So they say keep your bag zipped and in front of you. Don't carry your passport in your back pocket. And be especially alert in crowded station like Karlsplatz and the Stephensplatz. Guys, don't worry. I will be keeping it all close. Also, protect your belongings in the tourist areas. Big attractions like the St. Stephen Cathedral, Schönbrunn Palace, and the Nachtmarkt draw big crowds. So they say stay aware of your purse, your backpack, or your camera, and use crossbody bags with zippers and never hang them on the back of a chair at cafes. Guys, I will be carrying my adorable little backpack and I will be keeping it close to my body. Now, they also say use the hotel safe for passports and your extra cash and your credit cards. Yes, I recommend doing everywhere. Also, if you're renting an apartment or an Airbnb, make sure doors and windows are locked before you head out. I also purchased a travel carbon monoxide tester that you just set out. It runs on battery and it will let me know if there's any carbon monoxide leaking. I decided to add that to my stuff because of hearing of families and things happening in Airbnbs and different things. So I decided $20, better to be safe, right? Now, they say Vienna is very safe after dark, but they also say that means you shouldn't let your guard down. So, as always, I'm going to stick to well-lit streets, especially around the Gürtel area. I'm not sure I'm going to be in that area, but they say it can get sketchy late at night. And yes, we know I like to go look for danger, but I'm not going to go look for sketchy places. And to trust your instincts. If an area feels off, take a different route. Luckily, I will be in Austria with all of my coworkers, and I can tell you, I will not have a moment of alone time except for when I'm in my room. We all love to hang out and we all get along so well. Now, they also say only use official taxis or ride apps. Okay. Do not get in unmarked cars offering rides. Okay. They also say public transportation does run late, but to know your route before heading out because it may be different. Also, they recommend using ATMs inside the banks, not the ones on the streets. That makes sense. Also says to carry just what you need for the day and to keep a backup card. I always do that. I also do not store my cards in my phone. Okay. I don't. So if I lose my phone, I don't have to worry about any of my apps. Also, like I mentioned the other day, when traveling anywhere, I'm going to be downloading my maps so I can find my way around. And just for everybody to know, the emergency number is 112 in Austria. So I'm going to have that. They also say Vienna is stylish, so skip the touristy outfits. As I said the other day, me dressing more like the locals will help me blend in. I don't know if the locals there wear a lot of pink. Now, I am taking some black with me, so who knows? Maybe I will have to stick to that. I don't know. I'm just going to have to wait and see when I get there. But I do want to thank you all for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again on Wednesday. It will be another pre-recorded episode as I will still be traveling. But I do want to remind you all, please join our Facebook group. This is where we will post all of our missing person posters as well as share other posters. Now, Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central, True Crime and Wine Time is going to be offering their weekly deep dive into a truly shocking case. This week, Lama and a special co-host will cover the case of the storage unit of death, a Tennessee horror. Guys, I know nothing about that case, and I am either going to try to listen when they're live, or I will definitely be part of the replay crew. So guys, until next time, please stay safe. I'm making sure I stay safe, stay aware as I am. If you see something, say something. And most importantly, let's help these families bring home their loved ones if we can. Okay. Bye, guys.